let's see. It says using pairs of commas. You can do what I've done here. I wrote bracketing commas. You can do this just as a reminder, okay? So just in case you forget. The pairs of commas are acting as brackets around the extra information introduced in the sentence. Now it says, commas are like scissors. Of course, we know what scissors are. Commas are like scissors. They're used in pairs to show cuts in the sentence where words, phrases, or clauses can't be removed from the sentence without damaging the grammar. This means that when the words within the the words within the pair of commas are removed, there should still be a complete sentence left behind when what is left is joined up. Now, before we look at the example given here, I want to use an example that you're very familiar with, something related to the lesson we had on the use of relative pronouns to introduce relative clauses, making sentences complex, as in Unit 6. So I'll use an example like that so that you understand something you're very familiar with, for you to understand me better and easily. Now, what I have here, it says the girl who lives next door came to my house. Now you see that this, first of all, this is a clause because it has a subject and a verb, okay? A clause, there's a subject-verb agreement, subject-verb combination, okay? Now, but this is a dependent clause because it can't stand alone. This is also a relative clause giving extra information about this girl, the subject. All right. Now, this is a relative clause introduced by the relative pronoun who. Now, the rule here says that when you're using pairs of commas acting as brackets around the extra information introduced in a sentence, make sure that by the time you take out the extra information you've introduced, the extra information guarded by the pair of commas, that whatever you have left is meaningful. Now, let's see. This is my relative clause. Let's take it out and see what we have. Now it says, what I have left will be, the girl came to my house. You see that this is a meaningful sentence on its own. The girl came to my house. So this is one way to know if you've used your pair of commas correctly. Take out the pair of commas together with the extra information they introduced. If you're able to do this and what you have left is correct, ask yourself, by the time I take out this relative clause or phrase or extra information, as you can interpret it to mean, by the time I take out this extra information, what I have left, is it still meaningful? If you're able to answer this question positively, then it means that you've used your pair of commas correctly. Okay? Just like here. Now I put it back and I still have a complex sentence. The girl who lives next door came to my house. Now let's see. Let's see the example here. It says, for example, look at the following sentence. Rattlesnakes are, you must admit, something you wouldn't want in your house. If you take out the words between the commas, you still have a sentence. Rattlesnakes are something you wouldn't want in your house. This is a good test which you can use to check whether you're putting your commas around the right words in the sentence. If you take out those words, what is left still has to make sense. So now you have this example here, and you have my example. In the example here, you still have a clause because you must admit, but it's dependent, it can't stand